Well, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you all for being here. This is a unique opportunity for us to announce the acquisition of some very specialized in technical equipment. The acquisition of this advanced technology would not be possible without the assistance of the Harris County Sheriff's Office Foundation, and representing today is Franco Villobra,
right here.
Oh, hiding over here on my left. What we have acquired is a Leica three-dimensional scanner. As you can imagine, some of the crime scenes that we go to are very sophisticated and require serious documentation, for example. So thanks to their generous donation, this $170,000 piece of equipment will be added to our high-tech arsenal here at the Harris County Sheriff's Office for our use. And as an example, on the night of Deputy Darren Goforth's murder, we relied on the Texas Rangers providing us with a similar device from outside our jurisdiction. Now we have our very own device to deploy regionally in rapid response to major events and very complex crime scenes. The 3D scanner documents millions of measurements instead of a few hundred that can be processed by human crime scene investigators. This allows for a full 3D rendering of a crime scene, which in turn allows a jury to literally walk through the crime scene as investigators discover it intact. In essence, the scanner provides investigators and jurors to place themselves inside the crime scene with the same vantage point as witness, complainants, and suspects. The use of this emerging technology will save time, resources, and provide investigators with concrete and detailed renderings of their crime scenes. I've dedicated this administration to improving the state of the technology in use throughout the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The acquisition of a 3D scanner is the latest accomplishment, joining the Real-Time Crime Center and the High-Tech Crime Unit in my endeavor to employ new technology in 21st century law enforcement operations. And now for a few words, Franco Villobra with the Harris County Sheriff's Office Foundation.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the Rangers for coming. I represent here the Harris County Sheriff's Office Foundation, an organization that I found a few years ago and serves the pleasure of the sheriff. We are composed by approximately 25 members, businessmen, doctors, entrepreneurs, and we put money into our funds of these foundations to be able to do just exactly this, write these kind of checks to supply the police department, our sheriff's office in this case, with the best and the top equipment that they need. After all, when it comes to quality of life, I think that the two top voices are it we want to have for the citizen of this county, great hospitals and a great sheriff department, great law enforcement. Just like hospitals have state-of-the-art equipment to cure our problems and to cure our diseases, we need to give the sheriff's office, Harris County Sheriff's Office, the tools and the equipment top of the line to solve the problem. That will impact positively our quality of life in these regions. So this was a top priority for our sheriffs, and of course, the community told us we step up to the plate, and we thank you for allowing us to do so. But there are many more pieces of equipment, training, and all kinds of different things that we, as the Harris County Sheriff's Office Foundation, can do with the sheriff, and we remain, Sheriff, at your disposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Franco. And we have with us some Texas Rangers today, actually, in fact, those that were with us at the shooting scene for Deputy Goforth. So if you'd like to give a brief demonstration of what this equipment can do and kind of show them what the result of that 3D scanner can do for us.
Okay. So basically, the sheriff said it pretty well. It's a pretty high quality, high technology piece of laser scanning equipment. What the unit does is it takes millions of measurements, and you kind of see there on the screen, that's actually what's called a point cloud. There's no photographs involved at all in that point cloud. So everywhere, you can see the scanner right over here to the right here. Everywhere that it can see, it's going to scan. It's going to take measurements. So once it goes through its scanning process, it'll go through a second process where it actually takes photographs, just photographs again, everywhere it can see. The only place that it won't scan or photograph would be directly underneath the actual tripod. But then when you get it back to, you get these scans back to the office, you'll go through a process called stitching, where you actually stitch these scenes together, because there's actually multiple movements that you'll do. You get it back to the office, you put these together, and it lays those photographs on top of what you see here, on top of that point cloud. So every pixel, I guess, a way to explain it, every pixel within that photograph has a point of accuracy. So it's great for juries, good for investigators once you get back to the office. Say you forgot to measure a specific something in a crime scene, where you can go back and you can get an exact measurement within that crime scene, within that scan there. So I guess what he did right there, the technology is so smart that he added colorization to it, so it can actually recognize what colors it's grabbing onto in the actual room itself. Again, that's not a photograph. So that's a three-dimensional image. There's two programs that it can operate out of. That one is called Model Space. And do you want to go ahead and switch over to that True Space? So what he's about to open up now is another program that it can operate in called it's called True View, where the photos are actually laid over the top of that point cloud. Here earlier, just a couple hours ago, we did an inside scan of this room here, so you can see how you can toggle back and forth. And if you want to just grab a measurement somewhere, let's say you needed to know, say the measurement from that flagpole to the column there. So you could just pick a point in there, go over to that column, and if you'll look on the lower left over there, it'll give you measurements in meters. So that's exactly what, 18.906 feet, or you can toggle it back to meters, whichever you need. When we came out and did the Go Forth investigation, we paired with Harris County CSU, and we actually took their crime scene photos and we hot linked some of those photos into the scans, so that you can actually click a button and you can bring up that crime scene photo within that scan. So that's essentially what it can do, operate in those two programs. Now there's another one, this is an indoor scan, obviously, so you don't really grab on. There's not a picture of what the actual entire building looks like, but recently we had a training exercise, and he'll open up a model space, which is a point cloud. So that's a location that we did. It's just a training exercise. So really everywhere that scanner can see, you're going to be able to get a measurement. You're going to be able to grab that data. So you can see how you can hover over the top of the scene and toggle through there three-dimensionally. There's another feature that it has. You can actually make what they call a fly-through. It's a little AVI movie where you know, the path that a person took when they walked, or maybe the path a vehicle took, specific speeds, heights, stuff like that. Anybody has any questions?
Detail-wise, I mean, say there was a bullet casing, could it pick something up that small? What is the size?
Yes, it can. Say, for example, you know, there's a bullet casing, there's some kind of evidence. You can do what's called a high-resolution scan. So these scans were done on somewhere around the middle, usually in the name of time, but you can do it. You can put a higher resolution. It'll put a higher concentration of measurements and pixels within that scan, so it can do that.
How much computer memory does it take for a file, let's say, the scan of this room?
That it was 508 megabytes.
505 megabytes
for these two scans here. So that's, I think that's 5 gigs.
Does it record both photos and video? I'm sorry, I was just wondering.
No video, photos. I guess what I was talking about as far as the fly-through, that is something that you can create, you can make out of this model space. So basically what he's doing there, I can give it some settings and tell it I want it to move at this speed, at this height, and it's just a simple AVI video that you can make out of kind of what you see right here.
Has it been used somewhere else, and when are we going to start using it here in our county?
I would assume here in Harris County it's going to be pretty soon.
We have to have our personnel trained on this equipment as well and certified to use it. So as soon as we can get them ready, it'll be good to go.
But yes, ma'am, there's a lot of large agencies that use it. The Texas Rangers, we have 6 of them throughout the state. Here in what's called Company A, we have 1, and then the other companies, they each have 1. So the Texas DPS has a total of 6.
You mentioned it was used during the Big O Force, during that investigation. Can you talk a little bit more about that specifically and how it helped?
I think that the Leica scanner's greatest value is to take a juror back into that scene. It just completely replicates what you see here. But yes, as far as courtroom presentation, that's going to be where that's really the Leica is going to stand out for that particular investigation.
How do you determine which scenes this will be taken to? What is there a certain level of crime that it has to be used for?
Well, I mean, that's certainly up to the sheriff's office. Generally, we're going to do things like homicide and just major investigations. Now, can you take it? Of course, it's capable of doing anything, scanning any scene.
Address that, Sheriff? What kind of
Sure. I mean, obviously, our immediate thought is going to be on homicides. But as they get better with using the equipment, then you can see it being used in other more serious crimes. The issue here is the difference between a flat view, either vertical or horizontal. You know, we've been doing for many years something akin to a survey instrument that lays a flat image looking down, or a picture which is a flat image standing up. This provides a three-dimensional, and as you can see exactly how that frames up the entire environment. So in here it frames up the entire room and even allows you an outside look into the room. So it's a much more sophisticated look at complex crime scenes. So instead of going and trying to take a picture and explain to the juror what it looked like from the other side or from other perspectives, then this gives them a full multi-dimensional look at the environment. So it's much more helpful in our presentation of that crime scene.
the evidence this device gathers, I'm assuming it's completely admissible in court, or is there any nuance there?
Just like any other scientific evidence, once you've proved up the level of expert witness, if you will, I would assume it would be entirely admissible in court.
Overall, what does this mean to the Department of Use of technology like this? Do you find that, what does it mean to you?
Well, for us, it means that we're able to more professionally present a sophisticated piece of evidence so that jurors can get a better look at what the environment looked like where that crime was committed. It allows us to do a better job at capturing that information. For us, it's all about the evidence. How we portray or display that evidence helps the prosecution provide a better outcome.
How long does it take to take a scan, like say, of that?
This particular scan, I guess at those middle settings was probably somewhere around, it was less than 40 minutes or so. So the more proficient you get with it, of course, the faster it goes. So.
Do you know how any departments are using similar technology, either state or country? Is this unique?
Well, there are several here in Texas, I know,
Yes,
but of course the Rangers obviously are our closest partner. I don't know if HPD has one or not.
I'm not sure.
I don't.
You said DPS has it?
Well, of course, the Rangers being a small division of the DPS, yes,
Okay.
the Rangers have it.
Any other questions? Yeah. When this is presented in court, the jurors normally don't get to say anything. They just have to watch what the prosecution presents. Will they have any right to say, can you push this further to the left or the right?
Well, like any other piece of evidence, the jurors have the right to ask questions about it, and they may request a different view or request the operator to spin it. You know, we don't know at this point exactly how they will react to it. That'll be a new process learning for us as well, just as it will be for prosecutors.
Will this allow investigators to go back at a later date and kind of do a walkthrough through the scene again, where they can maybe look at things and say, wow, we didn't see that the first time?
Well, and think about it in use, for instance, in officer-involved shootings. You know, where you can go back and walk through a scene and kind of debrief the process, if you will. And a scene walkthrough is a typical part of crime scenes these days. So this is a great tool for doing just that.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks.
Guys, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you. You bet.
Sheriff, give me a follow-up response to this concept of whether or not it would be admissible. I didn't quite understand your response.
Sure, let me just look at a picture.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
Get Bruce to snap this.
Yes, sir.
Watch it when they add it to, watch they add it when they add the pictures to it. Now look at it.
Honeycomb effect.
Right.
We take the time to go through the entire process. That'll be smoothed over. Thank you. So it's called fast blending.
But you measure right from